Marcia Hampton, and welcome to another edition of Positively Douglasville. And today I have with me two of our elected officials, our Mayor Pro Tem, Larry Yockey, and our Councilmember, Richard Segal. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, just to give the citizens of Douglasville a snapshot of what the Georgia Municipal Association annual convention is like, I think it would be a good idea to just kind of talk, if you two gentlemen would say, hey, what have you learned? Why is it important to attend the annual convention? And what things you will be taking back to the citizens for us to look at as from a staff perspective to potentially implement. So I'll start with you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, well, this is my 6th year coming to this convention, and it's astonishing on how much information that you're fed, okay, and how much sinks in, okay.
Right.
And so I have attended several committee meetings, okay, on things that have been passed by the our representatives at the Capitol.
Right.
And also I attended a class on the trends of the urban communities. So all of this comes together with some of the things that we're trying to do, okay? And so that's kind of like where I'm coming from. It's like very interesting stuff that you can see what other communities are doing and how that would fit in with yours and what we're missing out and what we really have. So
right.
I'm really excited about being here.
That's great. How about you, Councilman Segal?
Thank you, Marcia. For me, this is important for all the training classes that we take. Helps me be a better council person. I've taken a class with Mayor Robinson and Councilman Miller on civics as it relates to local government, as well as policy development and implementation that I was in that class with Councilman Watts. Tomorrow I'll be taking a class also with Councilman Watts on Taxation 101. It's a dirty word, the T word. And then on Tuesday, last day here, I'm taking a class, Municipal Finance, which is very important with the Mayor Pro Tem being the chairman of the Finance Committee and me as the vice chairman of the Finance Committee. That's a big part of what we do because it's all about the dollars.
That's right.
But also, a big part of this is what you see going on in the background, perhaps, depending on the camera shot, is the exhibit hall with dozens, probably over 100 vendors who would like to do business with the city. Of course, they're not all going to, but they do have lots of ideas for us to bring back to the council and the city manager and her staff about things that maybe we could be doing better. So that's an important part too that I'm really taking advantage of.
That's great. And then I'll say you both of you have mentioned being a part of training courses. So so far, if there's one thing that stands out that you would say, wow, okay, that is definitely something we need to talk a little bit more about in Douglasville, what would that be?
Well, I know that there's a lot of things going to go on in Douglasville in regards to, our parks, and this arena here is where I learned a lot. Okay, and I know that there's some things that we have to do in order to make Douglasville have beautiful parks and maintain and sustain them, and so. I had several conversations with one of the conventioneers here, so it really is that was kind of number one. And then the transportation. I was sat in the transportation committee yesterday, and heard some of the stuff that's going on within the transportation department, and what we're about to do in Douglasville. So it kind of like all fits together. So those were like two key things that I ran into yesterday and today.
That's great. How about you, Councilman Segal?
Good question. One of the things I really like to see us work on is how we communicate with the community. And I took a class actually earlier this year about media and community relations. And that's how we deal with the media, with the community, whether it's through our Council 411 town hall meetings, which are a great way to reach out to the community that some people would not otherwise have a way of hearing from us, as well as how we use our website and social media and our fabulous city TV operation. They are so good that GMA hires them to do this at the convention every year, and they really deserve props for that.
Yes.
So really, the better we can communicate with our community, the better job we're seen as doing.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. And you all touched on one other thing I'll cover is networking. I know for myself, each time I go to any training opportunity, the networking is huge. The world in which we work in is very small, despite that it may seem big, it's very small. Talk to me about one networking experience that you have had here at the convention so far that you feel like, okay, this has impacted me and solidified I know that I'm doing the right thing and helping to improve the community in which I work in.
Well, yesterday I sat at the table with 2 mayors and from smaller communities and what they were doing and what we're about to do. They have the same problem with taxation, okay, which is a bad word, okay, but
Necessary evil.
But it's a necessary evil, and so that I got a comfort from them what they were going to do, and in regards to their taxation, and like I said, they were small communities, and I know that we're going to have to be faced with that, and we're going to have to make this decision in August.
Right.
So,
correct.
So it's that I think that was really a comfort feeling from them that hey, wait a minute, we're even though we're small, they were small. They were having the same problems that we were having.
Yes.
So
Great.
that was really an interesting feeling that hey, you know what, we might be just doing the same thing in the right way.
That's right. How about you?
I got a good example from a class I was in yesterday on policy development and implementation. Sitting at the table with Coach Watts and I was a mayor from a small city in Gwinnett County where they, like us, were having an issue with donation bins and people dumping and all the accumulated trash there. Well, the way they implemented it was a lot different from the way we implemented it, and when we were comparing and contrasting the different ways, he came to the conclusion that they did it all wrong because they weren't specifying donation bins, just collection bins, which impacted Blockbuster video return back when they still had Blockbuster and Netflix as well.
Right.
So now I am going to be sharing with him our ordinance so they can look at how we've done it so they can revise theirs and do a better job for their community.
Right, that's great. And I think the two of you bring up a very good point, that as much as this is about us receiving information and knowledge, we're also giving. That's an important part of our field, is to make certain that we give back. I think that that's how we receive as well. So if there are any parting words for the citizens of Douglasville to, again, give them comfort that we're here doing the business of the city and how what we're doing here benefits them, if you have any parting words for that.
I think that what the citizens need to know is, we're not here playing, okay? We are really here working, and that whole networking thing is a key thing, and also finding out information that other communities are having. And just on another note that came up yesterday, okay, was this whole taxation that everything's online now, and people are going online and buying things online. Well, we're not receiving any taxes from that.
Right.
And so that's a very interesting concept or interesting problem, okay? Not a concept, it's a problem. And that things are not being taxed when you order online. So everybody think about that when they're ordering online, that money is not coming back to Douglasville or the state.
No, it's not.
But this is just a great place to come to, like I say, network and learn and how to run our city in a much better way.
Yes, sir. Parting words.
Well, basically, we were put into office by the citizens of our community to guide this city, set policy, make sure it gets implemented. And attending events such as this helps us to do that, helps us be better council members. We're just regular people like everybody else. And we're not experts in governing until we start taking these classes and get the experience and the knowledge and the interaction that comes along with it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate you all, and I'll say this in closing and wrapping, and I know, Mayor Pro Tem, this is your last annual convention as an elected official, and I appreciate you being here. And I'll say as a staff person, whether it's me as a city manager or just a general staff person at the city of Douglasville, you all as a collective body, the 8 individuals who serve, just to the citizens that you are, I would say, one of the best groups that I have had the privilege of working for, that despite what personal differences that you all have, you're able to have those hard and tough conversations to be able to do the work of the city. Being here, being active, being involved, that's all part of it. So as a staff person who looks to your leadership to give us the direction to put in the work for the city, I appreciate what you do, and I thank you so much.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again. This has been another edition of Positively Douglasville.